Welcome back, boys and girls. And this episode is about crime, in particular thieving in the 50s and 60s. Now, the introduction to this video is about shoplifting. It was taken from an article in last year's November Daily Mail about shoplifting. According to this article, would you believe, everybody in the country is suffering from a sore arsehole or a sore throat. Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner that I love Norfolk so. Well, it's February the 18th and I brought you out onto the old M&GM railway line that used to run to Yarmouth. We're going to have a look at the spectacular countryside that surrounds the station of Honing. It should actually be called Briggate because it's on the edge of the village of Briggate, but for some reason it's called Honing. So back to this article in the Mail then. It was straightforward enough. It said that organised gangs of shoplifters, mainly Romanian, were targeting Morrison's and they actually stole £120,000 worth of stuff. Apparently, it was our very own Norfolk police force that spearheaded the nationwide hunt for this gang, and they were very successful. Well, this is all fair enough for this article, but it was what came later when I read further into it that these people were actually stealing. If you were going to go shoplifting, wouldn't you have gone for high-end value stuff like electric toothbrushes? Well, apparently they did. They did sell high-end toothbrushes and alcohol and so on. But when Norfolk police raided one of the houses, this is what they found, and it did make me laugh. 108 tubs of Sudocrem, 89 boxes of Strepsils, and 331 tubes of Sensodyne. So there we are, sore arses and sore throats. Not only that, but also it appears a lot of people have got sensitive teeth as well. So that's probably down to all that sugar they're eating, don't you think? It's all about supply and demand. These shoplifters, they're only going to nick stuff they know they can sell on the car boots and markets and so on. So there we are. Everybody must be suffering. Now personally, I started shoplifting when I was 9 or 10. A crowd of us would go into the local sweet shop and two of us would actually divert the attention of the shopkeeper by asking for stuff on the lower shelves or bottom shelves. And while his back was turned, the rest of us would help ourselves to all the sweets and that which was laid out conveniently on the counter. So, Hackney and Bethnal Green in the 50s and 60s. Basically, if it wasn't nailed down, it got nicked. And in a lot of cases, it was even nailed down, and it still got nicked. By 11 or 12 years of age, I was breaking into factories. Absolute ridiculous stuff was we nicking. Boxes of Nettleford screws and old Black & Decker drills and so on. But everything got nicked. I even went on a camping holiday to Whitby when I was 13. We came back with 10 times more stuff than we actually took. There was me, my mate, his elder brother, and their dad, who drove the car. And then we did a bingo hall, one of those old-fashioned bingo places that gave away everything as prizes. Sacks full of stuff, cigarettes, sweets, prizes. We carried the lot back to the car across the field. Did our parents know? Of course they did. When me dad suddenly found himself with 200 senior service, or me mum with 15 pounds of chocolate, they didn't even ask where they came from. Now before I go any further, I've got to tell you this funny but true story on the subject of thieving. This happened to a woman who lived just outside of Southend, and her neighbour asked her to look after the dog. She had a big dog, a big GSD dog. Asked her to look after the dog while she went on holiday. 2 or 3 days later, the dog died of natural causes. So she didn't really know what to do, so she stuffed the body of the dog into a big old suitcase with the idea of taking it to a vet's in Southend who would know how to dispose of the body. So she got on a train. When she got to Southend station, some kindly young man asked her if she needed any help with the suitcase, and she said yeah. Anyway, the kid ran off with the suitcase. I'd love to have been a fly on the wall when he opened it up, wouldn't you? Now, back in those days, there used to be a TV programme called Police 5 with Shaw Taylor, and this would come on a Sunday lunchtime for some reason. And anyway, one day my mum come home from the pub and she said, "Look what I brought down the boozer." And there she was parading up and down in these two brand new dresses. And guess what? There was Shaw Taylor on the TV screen behind her, showing these dresses, these very same dresses. And if you are offered one of these, please contact the police immediately. Now right here, we're coming up to what's left of the old M&GN station of Honing, or station as it should be said. On another occasion, my mum came home from the pub on a Saturday afternoon wearing a Burberry Mac, Burberry hat, Burberry scarf. She had the lot on. And I said to her, "Where'd you get that?" She said, "Some bloke selling them down the boozer." Within weeks, everybody had a Burberry Mac, Burberry this, Burberry that. Honestly, it turned out it was a security guard at Burberry's main store, selling them every weekend. You can't imagine how funny it was to walk down Mere Street in Hackney in those days and see everybody wearing a Burberry coat. Not one single person could have afforded such a coat, but there they were, all wearing them. Hilarious. To give you an idea of how widespread crime was, there used to be a jeweller's in Mere Street in Hackney, and he would suffer a smash and grab raid at least 3 or 4 times a year. Rumour has it they had to take him to hospital on every occasion to have the smile taken off his face, because he was corrupt. If he lost £30,000 worth of goods from the front window, he would claim £100,000 on the insurance. The police who attended the crime would be offered a few high-end watches to support his claim, and so on. In those days, if you wanted something, you just put the word out in the boozers, and sure enough, it would arrive. On one occasion, my mum and dad said they wanted a new 3-piece suite, so I put the word out in the pubs. Within 24 hours, there is 3 Negroes standing at the bottom of the flat stairs with a 2,000 cube lorry offering me a 3-piece suite for 40 quid. The thing is, to my absolute knowledge, there was no such thing as housebreaking in those days. But petty crime, well, that was everywhere. Every single day, petty crime. In those days, I used to drive a little 3-ton lorry for a local fruit and veg wholesaler. And I used to meet up with people on the road every morning. So there would be Bowyer's man, and I would give him a codgel, which is a box of fruit and veg, and he would give me Bowyer's sausages and meat pies. Then there was the milkman. For him, he'd get a box of vegetables and fruit, and I would get a gallon of double cream. So it wasn't unusual for me to stand at the foot of the stairs in our block of flats at Christmas, shouting out, "Strawberries, fresh strawberries and cream, come and get it, £1 a bowl." Or, on another occasion, "Ogium melons, fresh ogium melons, come and get them." And a voice rang out from the top floor and said, "What the fuck is an ogium melon?" Or, on a couple of occasions, "Mixed nuts, come on girls, come and get your mixed nuts, £2 to fill your shopping bag, mixed nuts." You see, I'd had away 400 weight of mixed nuts. And my mum and dad never complained when I unrolled a 56 pounds pack of sliced back smoked bacon down the hall. The roll of bacon was about 50 foot long. Just before Christmas, every year, we used to go and drive for parcel delivery vans. Parcel delivery vans, that was a joke. It was a free-for-all. Help yourself to whatever you wanted. I even had to take the vehicle back to the yard, where the governor of the firm and his transport manager demanded first pickings, would you believe? And what did he pick? A washing machine and a tumble dryer. Yes, a washing machine and a tumble dryer. Now, I'll tell you more about these two in the next video, because they were a comedy story in themselves. Finally then, in this episode at least, I'll tell you about the roller carpet. The roller carpet. This is really funny. What happened was there was a huge carpet warehouse in Beeb on the edge of London there. And one day I went down there to do some deliveries of carpets, and when I got there the place was deserted. So I said to the guy there, here's a fiver, get me a carpet, can you? A blue carpet, my mum wants a blue carpet. He was gone for about 10 minutes, and then he came round the corner with a forklift truck with a roll of carpet on it like you've never seen. It stood 5 foot off the floor when you placed it down. He put it on the back of the lorry and told me to fuck off, which I did, quick. Now we're coming to the end of this particular video on crime, but I'll continue the subject and the story of the roll of carpet in the next video. So there we are, boys and girls. This is Honing Station and the surrounding countryside. If you get a chance, you really want to come and have a walk down the Weaver's Way. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. I get an awful lot of things just walking up and down. See ya.